I have a song that I've just dropped. I'm going to put a link in the bio. It's called Temple. I made a song with my friend Jesus Reigns. The link will be in the description. But yeah, God bless. You know, I was reading Romans. I'm reading Romans at the moment. And in chapter 1, we see how the Gentiles, how Paul goes straight into the Gentiles, how the unbelievers, they're sinning, they're worshipping all these other things other than God himself. You know, the sexual immorality, all these things, just full of sin. And we go to chapter 2, and the Jews, Paul doesn't leave the Jews out. Even the Jews are guilty of sin. Also the Jews who've had the Torah the whole time. You know, unlike the Gentiles, they haven't had the Torah, but these Jews have had the Torah, and they're not even acting out these laws. And then they're out here saying to these Gentiles, oh, you're a sinner, but they themselves are not acting out. Hypocrites. In chapter 3, he goes in again on everyone who has sinned. Everybody. And people who circumcise themselves, but then they're not really circumcising the heart. They're not actually living it out. There's no point. What was the point of getting the circumcision in the first place? But then, and then you think, oh my gosh, there's no hope. There's no hope for humanity. Since the beginning, we have just been sinning after sinning, betraying God, disobeying him. There is no way out. What do you do? And then I love the wording here in Romans 3:21. But now, but Paul wasn't done. He says, but now the righteousness of God apart from the law is revealed, being witnessed by the law and the prophets, even the righteousness of God through the faith in Jesus Christ, to all who believe. For there is no difference, for all who have sinned and fall short to the glory of God, being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus. Wait, we are free by his grace? We're slaves, as Jesus says himself, we are slaves to sin. But Paul is saying here that we are free by his grace. What does this mean? That means God never gave up on us. God had a plan for us the whole time. God had a plan to get us out of the darkness. As Jesus says in John 8:12, he is the light of the world. He that follows me leads to the light of life, or something along those lines. We have a God that doesn't know the darkness, that doesn't know what sin is. It's not even in heaven. And you can have heaven in your heart now by accepting Christ in your heart. By believing him, repenting, and you will be saved. There is hope. There is a hope that Jesus is still here. He's coming back. The second coming, he will be back. But this is proof that God has not given up. He never gave up on us. From the beginning, this was the plan. This was the plan. So have faith in Christ. Have faith in God, because we are saved by faith. We are not saved by works, because if we were saved by work, we're never going to do it, because we're going to keep falling short after short after short. That's why the Jews couldn't follow all 613 commandments. But it wasn't about following the laws first. It was the faith. Because when we look at Abraham, there was no law at the time. There was no 10 commandments, but he was justified by faith. How can you be justified by works if there was no law? Which means he had to be justified by faith, by believing in God. And at the time, Abraham and Sarah, they were old. You know, they're thinking they can't have kids. Sarah, there's literally a verse. Sarah was literally laughing at God. So they can't have a kid. And then God takes him out to see all the stars. And Abraham's like, oh, I can't count that. And do you know what God says? That's how many descendants you're going to have. Those are all yours. You are going to be the father. And Abraham believed in that. Yes, he's old. Yes, they didn't see how on earth they were going to have kids at that old age. But because he believed in God and for what he saw, he believed it. And that's why he was counted righteous. So when people say we are saved by faith and works, it's not true. The Bible rejects that. It's not true. Ephesians 2:8-9, Romans, it's literally in Romans chapter 4. It's everywhere. We are saved by his grace. And that is so amazing, because we don't have this pressure to do this to please God, because we can never please him. And in fact, God doesn't even need us. But because we are saved by faith, and it's all him, we give him the glory. It doesn't go to us. We cannot boast about anything. It's all God's work. It's all Jesus' work. It's all the Spirit's work. That he died on the cross and rose again for us. His grace set us free from sin. That's the God we serve. So amazing. But yeah, that's what really hit me. Read Romans. It's really good. Just really get into the Bible in general, to be honest, because the Spirit will speak, and God, this Bible is supernatural. I'm telling you guys. But yeah, we're all sinners. You think there's no hope, but there is, because the righteousness of God was shown in Jesus Christ. Faith, love, justice, all those things shown on the cross. That's the God we serve. I hope this video made sense. God bless you all.